Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? So let's get caught up on these. Let's see. Toys was first, and I replied, yes, you are. And then, of course, Leto comes in. Hey, Mike and Toys. Hey, Leto. So, how you guys doing today? So, it looks like we have 4 people in here today. So, 4 people to start off. So, that's good to see. So, I guess we're back down to 3 now. Good. Um, Always, guys, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. So what I'm going to try to start doing now, if there are 3 or less people, I'm going to try to wait till 10 minutes to start. But if there's 4 or more, then I'll probably start, um, around the 5-minute mark. So we did have 4 for a moment there, and it looked, I'm getting a little signal, connection's unstable message on the StreamYard side of it. Let's see. And I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. It does help with the algorithm. So let's see. We're back up to 4 people now. So hopefully we'll stick with that. So let's see. 130. Now we're up to 5. Hey, May May. Hey, May May. We haven't seen you in a while. A little emoji there. I have no idea what that means, but hey, May May. From Leto. Okay. We got 6 people now. So wow. We're getting more and more people in here. So yeah. I made it in time. Hi. Hey. Yeah, you missed the open mic night the other night. Let's see. How are you? How are you today? Hey everyone. Nice to see you. It's going to be boring later tonight. Nick won't be on. Yeah, I fell asleep the past 2 days. I woke lady. We have 7 people now. Okay. So, oh damn. I do that too sometime. All right. Well, it looks like we do have actually kind of a nice little group tonight. We got like 7 people already, 6 to 7 people. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And as always, guys, I do appreciate any and all likes. You guys can keep talking amongst yourselves. I'm gonna pull up. So I'm gonna go right into telling you guys what's on tap for tonight. So I've got 6 stories for you guys, all from Bounding into Comics, all comics related. It looks like we have a new person in here. Let's see. FV. Hello, as I promised, Letta, I'll enter this stream when I'm on vacation. Oh, hey, FV. Yeah, you're one of Leto's regular stream attendees, huh? Glad to see you're here. Everybody, let's help make FV feel welcome here. They're from Leto stream, so hopefully you'll like it and you'll start to come on more often. So we got up to 8 people now here. So let's see. Also happy Shark Week. You guys are IFV. Hello everyone. So yeah. So anyways, hi everyone. All right. So anyways, let's get into this then. So as I said, we have 8. I've got. I'm sorry, 8. That's 8 viewers. Actually, I got 6 stories tonight. All from Bounding into Comics. 3 from the 3 comics related, 1 anime related, and 2 kind of cartoon television related. So from the comic book side of it, we have, and I know Flash covered this story the other day as well. We have the story about how Marvel apparently reveals Steve Rogers no longer believes in the American dream. I know Flash talked about that. We'll go into that article, look at that. Dean Cain has a response to that. not too happy response. We have the Arc Tunes review this week. Today, I guess he didn't do it on Monday, extended holiday and all that. We're going to talk a little bit about Russia's war on anime. And also, as this responds, got a couple of stories we're going to go into, including Netflix once again going woke, race swapping characters. In this case, King Grayskull and Andra from the latest Masters of the Universe project. And Crunchyroll and Adult Swim have revealed characters and cast for Blade Runner, Black Lotus. So, all that. And, of course, this day in niche history. So, we will go ahead and get into all that here. Pretty quick. Maybe just kind of get cut up a little bit here on some of the more recent stuff. So short. Let's see. Hey, 80. So 80's here. Hey, 80. I only get a week. Hey, 80. 80, we've been missing you. Hi to Leto. From one who is not here now. Let's see. Wow, 3 women laugh out loud. Yeah. Sure, you are 80. Well, since my imagination is pretty large, I guess you are way less than a fragment 80 pickle. I'm looking forward to the Blade Runner anime. Yeah, we'll be talking about that, Leto. Let's see. May, I'm up to watch Black Lotus. It's Blade Runner Black Lotus. It's let's see. Been waiting for a while. Let's see. Diet High Action Toys channel, and this night talk. I want to sit quietly in corner and learn. I have a hard time catching the Wednesday, the Friday, since I work on those days, not this day. So, anyways, all right. Well, we're all caught up with the chats now. So, we have some people in here. So let's get going on these articles then. Here's the first one. Marvel reveals Steve Rogers no longer believes in the American dream in first issue of The United States of Captain America, written by Spencer Bacouli, and it was published July 6th, which was last Friday. And I know this one's been getting a lot of traction. I know Flash covered this, over the past week. So let's take a look at what they had to say here. Par for the course for contemporary Marvel writing, the premiere issue of the publisher's Star Spangled Summer crossover, The United States of Captain America, has revealed that the original super soldier himself, Steve Rogers, no longer believes in the concept of the American dream. Boo! Boo! Source: The United States of Captain America #1, 2021. Cover by Alex Ross. So, released on June 30th, which was last Wednesday. Let's see. Yeah, it was a week ago, in fact. The first issue of the Christopher Cantwell written and Dale Eaglesham illustrated miniseries opens literally the first page of the story with a solemn Rogers staring out of his Brooklyn apartment and looking back on his past career as a Star Spangled Avenger. Oh, no wonder. No wonder he the American dream, and he lives in one of the 5 boroughs of New York where they just totally trash America. A lot of very modern, ungrateful children out of that area. Beginning with a memory of his now iconic line, "I'm loyal to nothing except the dream." And and I know Flash commented on this quite a bit, uttered in admonishment of a warmongering U.S. military general during an investigation into the origins of the jingoistic supervillain Nuke. Daredevil Volume 1, number 233. Rogers finds himself in disbelief at how, in quote, "I actually said that once." Here's of course the panel from, of course, Daredevil Volume 1, number 233, Armageddon, 1986, Marvel Comics, words by Frank Miller, the same Frank Miller, I believe, who did the who did a Batman graphic novel. I think he did the No Man's Land graphic novel, something like that. Art by David Mazzucchelli. Quote, "Here's the thing about a dream, though. A dream isn't real." Unquote. The hero continues. Quote, "When we wake up, it goes away, and we're left with this yearning inside, like something was taken from us." End quote. Okay, let me comment on that a little bit here, because what a lot of people seem to forget is the dream itself is only the motivation. It's up to you. It's up to you to make your dreams come true. Can't just sit around and just wait for your dreams to happen. You got to make them come true. You got to take responsibility for yourself and make your dreams come true. Okay? Instead of sitting around playing the victim, and this is a shame to see that they're taking one of the most iconic heroes of all time and turning him into a victim, making him victim blame, or turning him into a victim. For a dream, dreams themselves, yeah, they're not real. They're manifestations of your desires. To make a dream real, you have to work to make it real. You have to work to make it come true. Okay? And the Constitution guarantees life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's the pursuit of happiness, not happiness. Doesn't guarantee happiness. It guarantees the pursuit of happiness, with life and liberty in that. Okay? So what the Constitution basically says is that you're guaranteed to be given the chance to live your life as you see fit, with liberty, with the freedom to make the choices you want to make, to pursue whatever makes you happy. It doesn't guarantee happiness. It just guarantees the pursuit of happiness. That's where people, I think, sometimes get mixed up. Let's see what you guys are saying on this. Sorry, Trails of Cold Steel 4, but I have a little more left on P5. I'm on 100 hours of P5. Captain America needs some antidepressants. Like, yeah, no kidding, Leto. Jeez. Listening to song Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. Thunder only happens when it rains. Players only love you when they're playing. And women, they will come and they will go. Till the rain washes you clean, you'll know. Have so much to finish in my game. I want to get good enough to reach the top floor. I think I have 30 more hours to finish it. Let's see. They have a weird grading system so that anyone can get there and possibly play against pros. Let's see. Why 30? That's a good song 80. Well, P5 has around 130 hours of gameplay. Oh. Anyways, back to the article here. Let's see. Where are we? Okay. Rogers then asserts, quote, at least that's one kind of dream, before mulling on how lately spending my days in this country as the years march on by, I'm starting to think America actually has two dreams and one lie. Quote, unquote. Oh boy, here we go. They are definitely trying to push. They're trying to push America is bad agenda. That's what these ungrateful little brats. These ungrateful little brats. If this was China, they'd be getting tortured right now for saying this kind of thing. These ungrateful little brats. This is China or Russia, they'd probably be getting tortured for saying such things. So, source: the United States of Captain America, Volume 1. You brought too many. 2021. Marvel Comics. Words by Christopher Cantwell. Art by Dale Eaglesham. Man, I think Stan Lee's got to be turning over in his grave right now with this crap. Excuse my French there. Rogers then explains, quote, the first American dream is the one that isn't real. It's that one some people expect to just be handed to them and then get angry when it disappears. When the truth is, it never really existed in the first place. Unquote. If that's what they're trying to sell the American dream as, and these guys are freaking idiots. If that's what they're trying to make what the American dream sounds like, then these guys are idiots. Okay? First off, granted, in part, they are correct. That's what a lot of these SJWs believe. A lot of these kids have been told all their lives that every problem they have is the rich old white man's fault. When you get all caught up in all the ist and faux garbage, then yeah, they don't believe in the dream. Because what they fail to understand is in order to make the dream come true, they have to take the personal responsibility to make the dream come true. If they want to be rich, they got to go out and work their butts off to try to become rich. Find a way to do it. Whether that is working a 9-to-5 job and working your way up the ladder, or investing, or inventing something that people want to buy. You are the one who has to make your dream happen. If you are just sitting around waiting, now, in a way, they're right here. There are people out there who believe that it should just be handed to them. And that's the whole problem right there. But that's not America's fault. That's not anybody's fault but your own for not taking personal responsibility to try to make it happen. Continuing, Rogers then describes how Germans, quote, Germans have this neat word, Fernweh. It means a longing for nostalgia, for a place you've never been, or for a place that might not even exist at all. Well, we all have that. That's part of the human condition. We have a word for this in the States. Quote unquote, he declares Americana. Well, the idea that you're free to, the Constitution again guarantees you the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It doesn't guarantee happiness; it just guarantees you have the freedom to pursue happiness. Let's see now. Okay. Source: The United States of Captain America, Volume 1. You Brought Two Too Many, 2021. Marvel Comics, words by Christopher Cantwell, art by Dale Eaglesham. You know what it's called to be obsessed about what everybody else has and what you don't? You know what that's called? It's called envy. It's called envy. It's called the green-eyed monster. And we have a lot of spoiled brats out there who are consumed by the little green monster. And these two clowns are part of that. Are hanging out on a street corner trying to earn a quarter at a time. Has mechs and robot chicks. Let's see. Right, 80. I keep trying. 80, what are you doing for a quarter? Just Googled that game. Why is it? The old games I did play are super expensive now. Because they're collector's items, Leto. That's why. I like how you sigh, Mike, each time you start to read comments. More stuff to read. Laugh aloud. He sighs. We putting him to work. Yeah, that's true, Leto. You are putting me to work. Got to keep up, make sure I know what you guys are talking about. So if I need to respond, then I can respond. Especially if you're asking me something, and if I'm not aware of what you're talking about, then it makes it a little bit harder to answer you if I need to answer you. So yeah, we're up to 7 people now, so that's cool. And as always, guys, of course, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. That does help with the algorithm. So and of course, let's see now. Leto just said, I'm going to go get a bubbly soda. Bring y'all some back. All right. So, anyways, let's continue on with the article here. Taking a sponge to his dirty shield in an effort to clean it up before it's potentially given to the Smithsonian to be put on display, in parentheses, in yet another trite attempt to force some sort of synergy between the comic books and the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Rogers goes on to note that, quote, this is the white picket fence fallacy that, if we're not careful, becomes nationalism jingoism. Yeah. And these comic pros wonder why they can't get anybody to buy their comics. It's this garbage right here. Quote, That dream isn't real. It never was, quote, he argues. Again, it's your responsibility to make it real. Not the government's. And it's nobody else's fault but your own when you don't make it real. It's not a racial thing. It's not an ist or a phobe or what have you. It's not the rich white man's fault that your dream didn't come true. It's your fault for not taking any personal responsibility for your life and for not getting up off your own butt and making your dream come true. Quote, because that dream doesn't get along nicely with reality, other cultures, immigrants, the poor, the suffering, people easily come to be seen as, quote unquote, different or un-American. When a lot of when they want to bring policies to this country that failed in their own countries, that is un-American. Again, they praise a lot of what like China and Russia are doing, and a lot of these communist countries are doing. Yet, if they were to talk about this like this about Russia or China, they'd be getting hauled off in the middle of the night and being tortured. Okay? So, the white picket fence becomes a gate to keep others out. Well, yeah, everybody has a right to their own property. Okay? Everybody has a right to their own property as well. Both checked. I can hack it to play it free. Let's see. Cup of tea and waiting for my veggies. Toys. Haha, you're going to have to record it to bring the nostalgia back for me, FV. Let's see. The thing with the American dream is that it's been actualized, and what you have today is what you get from an overly spoiled generation. That's very true, ATC. That is very true. A lot of this generation doesn't understand or know what it means to fight for what you want. Okay? Because they can sit there and they can play there, and then they can play on their game systems, they can go on the internet, and with the pandemic and all that, forcing everybody to even stay inside and stay apart from each other, that's kind of a problem too. But a lot of this generation doesn't understand what it means to work for and fight for your dreams. They just expect you to just hand it to them. I think half the people on this chat are not American. More than half, Leto. Oh. I don't know. I think Leto and I are from the States. Let's see. I know. Well, let's see. May's from and then I know 80's from the States as well. That's 3. I guess ATC, FB, May, probably. Hello. Well, my P3 is hacked, so I don't connect it to the internet. I get games on PC, then and from there to my P3, and it recognizes it as bot. And I have a soapbox that I stood upon at times, and rent out for a quarter. Interesting, FV. At 80, very industrious. If I connect it with the internet, the games may be recognized as pirated and blocked. Let's see. Wonder who raised the generation. I think a lot of this generation was adopted. Well, yeah, I mean, it does kind of go back to the 80s and the concept of the latchkey kids where you did get away from traditional family values. You didn't have one parent in the home. You had both parents working a lot of times, so you usually had babysitters and TV and game systems all raising this generation. Anyways, going back to the article here, he adds, quote, "We're at our best when we keep no one out. A good dream is shared radically, shared with everyone. When something isn't shared, it can't become the American lie," unquote. Apparently somebody forgot the Schoolhouse Rock song, "The Great American Melting Pot." The idea is that you're supposed to when you come to America and pursue your dreams, you're supposed to blend in, not take over. The United States of Captain America, Volume 1, Number 1. You bought two too many. You brought two too many. Okay. Looking upon the pennant of his former World War II division, the real world 1st Infantry 26th Regiment, otherwise known as the Blue Spiders, Rogers expounds, quote, "The lie is a real problem because it comes in the form of an empty promise," unquote. Yeah, these guys are really pushing. These guys are un-American. These guys are unpatriotic. Quote, "A while back, we told the world they could come here for a better life. But too often we turn our backs on them." No. They just got to come in the right way and not leech off the system and try to make their dreams come true. Not just be expected to have everything handed to them. Thinks Rogers. Quote, "Instead of a dream, they get handed a raw deal. Because they expect their dreams to be handed to them. They expect their dreams to be handed to them. They just expect somebody to just come along and just hand them an easy life. And that's BS. Okay? You're guaranteed life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, not happiness. You've got to make it work for you. You've got to work for your dream. You've got to work to make your dream come true. Can't just be expected to be handed the dream. It took 1 hour for me to hack my PS3. Last system I had was PS2. The that I can play games for free. Okay. Yeah, I can. And people wonder why Marvel is tanking when they put out garbage like this. The first Avenger then shifts his thoughts to, quote, the second dream, unquote, noting that, quote, this one's real, but we don't hold it or own it. Heck, we can't even touch it. Um, unquote. Quote, we reach for it, unquote, he proclaims. We work, we toil, we struggle, we fight. Together we may never reach it, but we never stop trying. That's my dream. Now that now that is a little bit more true. People who do work for their dreams usually will get it. Speaking to the plot of the mini, Rogers goes on to recap how, quote, the Smithsonian is putting on a special exhibit called, quote, Americans Who Fight Before Lamenting How He Didn't, quote, really love the name, unquote, because, quote, sometimes we fight when I feel like we could handle things another way, unquote. Capitulation to evil is wrong, Steve. It is dead wrong, and you should know better. Of course, we can't blame Steve Rogers here. We got to blame his writers because they're the idiots who are pushing this garbage. Rogers' mind soon turns to images of the yellow dress worn by Rosa Parks on the day of her now historical bus ride, a jacket bearing the symbol of the United Farm Workers Union, what can be assumed to be Abraham Lincoln's top hat, a megaphone, and the Woodward's Diner wherein the Greensboro sit-ins took place, all of which led the captain to share, quote, in my mind, there were Americans who fought, sure, but also reached. They laid themselves bare, unquote. Quote, and they did it without serums or powers or metal suits, unquote. He admires, quote, the museum wants to put my shield on display. They have an old replica, but they believe the real deal will mean more to people. But unlike those other folks, the ones who reached with selfless clarity, I find myself too often stripped of what I'm supposed to stand for, unquote. Well, Steve, if you had that attitude when you were fighting people like Red Skull and Baron Zemo, we'd be in a lot worse off place than we are now. Let's see. Why were they criminals? He smiles. Family secrets I cannot tell even 300 years later. Interesting. If I connect to the internet and the game gets recognized as pirated, I may have to rehack it. So no internet on my PS3, no stream. 2 action smiles. My parents came from Mexico by sneaking through, but my father took it upon himself to be a citizen and pass the test, answered questions some Americans can't even answer level. Well, your thought sounds like your thought, aside from maybe the idea of sneaking in, like your dad basically did it the right way. And You know, um, you know, he didn't just sneak in and then just just try to hide and just he did it. It sounds like he did it more or less the right way. Oh snap! And don't stream it. Just play it. You'll like it though. I'll pray for you, AFV. Why, Liddy? If it happens, I will just rehack it. Don't worry. I believe citizenship should be earned through military service, no vote. I say all people should take a test and lose citizenship upon failing. Yeah, it's not that would be something. If we got a lot of these SJWs to take a 1776 style history test on the real history of the United States, yeah, we could probably kick them all out, send them all off to Russia or China or something like that, where they'd probably prefer to be. My heritage in the 1600s. My heritage in the 1600s arped and pillaged their way into America, killed natives. He had to do it the wrong way first, but paid taxes for 15 years. And America came up with a law: any immigrant over 7 years paying taxes can apply. Yeah. Well, I mean, still though, yeah. He ultimately did it the right way. There are a lot of people who didn't. That's what a lot of those dreamers are. Their parents didn't do it the right way and they didn't try to rectify it. Sounds kind of like your dad did it more or less the right way. So, anyways, excuse me a moment because things are getting a little dim in here. So I think I got to turn on some lights here. I'll be right back. One of my story this morning. It's in the past. Mission break. I don't smoke, so let alone. All right. So, anyways, getting back to the article here, and I'm realizing we're already coming up on like past the 40-minute mark, and spent on just this one. And I actually started even early this time, so almost at 45 minutes. So I'm gonna have to start getting through this a little quicker, so we can make sure we get through all our stories again. Turning to images of modern day America, Rogers admits that his image is not only quote pretty easy to repurpose for people's various agendas, unquote, but quote also an easy target when things in the country get bad, unquote, which is true. Quote, and believe me, they can get bad, unquote, he asserts. Sometimes it gets so far away from 1940 when I first got injected that it all seems pretty ridiculous. Honestly, I've started to wonder if I divide more often than unite, he concludes. Just moments before an unknown stranger dressed as Captain America breaks into his home and puts an end to his inner monologue. So often a shield can become something to hide behind. I wonder if lately I've been hiding too. What do you make of Rogers' outlook on the American dream? Let us know your thoughts. Well, I think the writers here are definitely un-American JAs, you know, so who probably do need to be exported to China. So, anyways, we're done with that article. So let's move on to the next one. Kind of, but we're going to take a little break from the captain because we could go right to the Dean Cain one, but let's take a slight little break there and try to, take a moment to do something a little bit that's not as aggravating. Arctoons Roundup, July 7th, 2021, written by the Dark Herald, published earlier today. Welcome to the Arctoons Roundup, Bounding into Comics, weekly look at some of the best in new and classic comics that Archaven Comics has to offer. This week, we will be spotlighting the work of the premier Latino writer working in speculative fiction today, John Del Eros. Flying Sparks. First up, we will be catching up with an old friend, Flying Sparks. Chloe and Johnny are a perfect couple. Both are young, career-oriented, and seem to be much more financially stable than is typical for millennials. That isn't to say that they don't have disagreements. You two, get behind me. Hey, I can take care of myself. Why don't you get to safety? I'm the man here. Oh boy. Flying Sparks. Although they do have one fundamental problem. She's a superhero. But he's underestimating my fighting spirit and my gadgets. Okay, mostly my gadgets. And he's a supervillain. It's never good to kill someone in my business. No one would work with me if they knew how quickly I could fry them. Thank you, Mr. Frank. I think I will accept your alien ruby as payment for my troubles. So you basically got a husband and wife here. One's a supervillain, one's a superhero. That's cute. This week they were getting together for the first time in a while. Things were going smoothly, and that never lasts with Chloe and Johnny. Are you people dense? One more word and I pull the trigger. Which one is going to have to reveal his or her little secret next week? Much better. Get the ray gun, boys. Ember War. Our next entry is new to Bounding into Comics, Ember War. John Del Eros, adaptation of Richard Bach's epic tale of the annihilation of 99.9% of the human race by a relentless enemy from deep space, and the survivors' desperate attempt to save their fragment of humanity. This week, the last splinter of humanity that remains has returned to Earth after an absence of 30 years. They are trying to find the secret of humanity's near genocide. torn, and I will keep. And you take the others and get the principal to Ibata Towers. Roger, moving. The granddaughter of the richest man in the world is the key to unlocking the mystery of mankind's fall, as well as its only hope for survival. Welcome, Stacy Ibata. However, there is a major problem with it. Uh-oh. Something lies in wait for the last ember of the human race, but we won't be facing it alone. I am a being from another world. Your Earth is about to be invaded by a threat you can't comprehend. If we act quickly, we might be able to save your kind. We only have 60 years to prepare. Clockwork Dancer. Clockwork Dancer is John Del Eros' brilliant steampunk entry into the world of webtoons. In the eyes of the Anglican Church, and according to the laws of Queen Victoria, Alistair has created a monster. His clockwork automation has a spark of life, but the outside world does not recognize that she also has a heart of gold. Alistair and his creation must go on the run to escape Her Majesty's Secret Service, and at the same time evade the man who first invented clockwork automatons, a man who will stop at nothing to get his hands on the Clockwork Dancer. Prune, Scotland, 1898. Dance, my darling, as you always dreamed of dancing. Look at that. That's a pretty impressive. Steampunk lends itself to comics in a way that it simply can't for any other media. Books show you nothing of what is very image-driven genre. What madness is all of this? Billingham is creating an automaton army. Movies and TV usually just look silly when trying to capture this world that never was. You have no chance. There are four of us and two of you. Give up now. This week, Alistair is on the run as Billingham prepares to activate a clockwork army that will bring down the monarchy. I pray we're not too late. This is building into something huge. John Del Eros has never hesitated to dream big. Let's see how you guys are getting this. I don't see be liking teaching people imperial. Pregnant. 69 times 69 times 69 equals pregnant. Okay. Okay. Sounds about right. Best answer to a math question I ever saw. She's best math teacher for that answer. You might be right, Action, since I'm used to my private school and I'd be teaching monkeys. That'll being dirty over 4761. Okay. Agreed, FV. USA, very uncivilized. Come on. I will leto be dirty anytime. Yeah, I also thought about this. Yeah, they probably won't hire her as an American female teacher because she's not attracted to the students. Public schools. Horrible. It's hard for me to teach people like that. 80, laugh out loud. All right, so we're up to 88. All right. So, anyways, back to the article here. Gray Claw. And finally, our spotlight this week is on Arctoon's newest title from the Brazilian powerhouse Super Prumo Comics. Gray Claw has a long history in Brazil, first hitting the stands in 1937. Wow. So it was in Brazil, it was hitting, Gray Claw was coming out around the same time as some of the stuff we're reading right now, like, you know, like Slam Bradley and Jack Strand and Dr. Occult and all that. Speed zone. Let's see. Arctoons has the great privilege of bringing this cornerstone of Brazilian comics culture to the English-speaking world for the first time. We'll let the comic book fill the background details. Like you'd have to know. Okay. In 1937, the original Grey Claw hit the pages of Sao Paulo's most famous newspaper, Gazeta. From its astounding start, it brought with it elements from the genre of horror that were as terrifying as they were intimidating when you open the pages. You were ruthlessly greeted with mummies, violated tombs, a figure with a face, cadaverous face, a lady in black, and yes, even robots. You and I might have to imagine for a moment just how pernicious the figure of a robot would have been to audiences in the 1930s. Nevertheless, they would have recoiled in fear at the idea. Even so, it also delivered in a different way, bringing mystery, violence, and detective plots in the early days. The character of Grey Claw shocked us with blood curdling stories and hair raising imagery, while more domesticated figures, such as the Phantom or Superman, were just beginning to become icons. And I'm not going to read much just because we want to. I'll show just kind of. This is an extremely intriguing start. Super Promos, new additions to this legacy are hotly anticipated. Thanks. That's it for this week's Arctoons Roundup. If you'd like to see your comic book on Arctoons, please send your submissions at archaven.com. Arctoons' motto is great stories belong to the world. If you would like to support the website, please consider buying a subscription. While Archaven titles on Arctoons will remain free to all forever, independent creators will soon have the option of being directly supported by their patrons. See you next week. So that's it for that one. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Nope, he said flirty. Lulls. I plead the fifth. I think he would flirt with the teacher, get good grades, maybe. Yes, it was the word flirty on rereading it. And if I always get along well with all my teachers. A lot of those arc tunes aren't very good, only a few are interesting. Well, I'm just putting the information out there, Leto. I mean, I'm just reading the articles, reading the roundups, and if you guys want to go check them out, go for it. And in a flirty way, I would have said, that's a F for my class for you action. Oh boy. Arc tunes is maybe something I need to check out. How about I'd make it up? I always do. Oh, so dear student. All right, guys. You guys are playing a little too much there. All right. So let's get ready to move on to the next article here then. Let's see, where are we at time? We're just past the hour mark. We're getting to about a third of the way through. All right, so here's the next article coming about. Dean Cain blasts Marvel's new Captain America that doesn't believe in the American dream. Now, for those of you who may not remember who Dean Cain is, he's an actor. He played Superman in I think it was the 90s TNT series Superman, The New Adventures of Superman, The New Adventures of Lois and Clark. Written by John F. Trent and published earlier today. Okay, yeah, Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman actor Dean Cain. So that's what the title is. Okay, anyways. Blasted Marvel's new Captain America that shows the iconic character no longer believing in the American dream. I just hope they don't take Superman in that direction. Superman's another one who kind of embodied, American patriotism as well. I would hope they wouldn't try that with him. In the first issue of the United States of Captain America #1 by Christopher Cantwell and Dale Eaglesham, which we read earlier, or we didn't read the comic, but we read an article about it. Cantwell has Captain America not believing in the American dream anymore. Cap thinks, quote, "I'm loyal to nothing except the dream. I actually said that once. Here's the thing about a dream," and then, okay, I'm not going to read that because we already read that line, the earlier article. Cain would react to this new comic and Captain America's abandonment of the American dream in a segment on Fox and Friends. He stated, quote, I love Captain America. I love the concept of Captain America. But I am so tired of all this wokeness and anti-Americanism. You tell him, King. Dean. Oh, we just celebrated our 245th birthday. In my opinion, America is the greatest country in history. It's not perfect. We're constantly striving for a more perfect union, as well know. But I believe she is the most fair, equitable country ever, with more opportunity than anyone's ever seen. And that's why people are clamoring to get here from all over the globe. Which is another good point, which has been made a lot too. America is supposedly so bad. Well, if America is so bad, why is everybody trying to get into America? I guess because if they figure they suck off enough of Joe Biden, they'll probably get free stuff. That's probably why. Kane then cites Senator Tom Cotton. He says, quote, I agree with Senator Tom Cotton, who was on a couple of days ago, who said, quote, perhaps captain needs to be demoted to lieutenant because I think it makes good sense. Let's see. So, is from on the morning of May 15th, Dean Cain and Amanda Swiston, both actors, posed for a group shot with several Marine soldiers and sailors during an autograph and photo session in front of the Camp Exchange. Cain and Swiston, who are touring Iraq for the next few weeks, were on their fourth stop in the country. Yeah, probably as part of the USO tour. Cotton added his own thoughts in a separate segment on Fox and Friends. He stated, quote, sounds like Captain America may need a demotion to lieutenant after that speech. But this is what happens when you allow left-wing activists to write your comic books, unquote. True. Very true. Okay. Leto. Hey, back. Oh, Batgoat's here, huh? Hey. Nine watching. I'm cool. Hey, Batgoat. Good to see you, man. Let's see. How are you, my friend? No, not like that. MV. Let's see. Hey, Leto. I'm good. Hope you are as well. I'm the head of my class action. Enough said. Think I'm pretty good, thanks. I've actually gone through issues with a math teacher lower my grades before. Ooh, shots fired. Hee hee hee. I always thought Dean Cain looked weird to be a Superman. Laugh out loud. He looked a bit um sane. Um, now I see him. He looks fine. He's different looking from what I remember. Leto, he's half Asian. Dean Cain pulled Tom Arnold's B card big time. That was awesome. Anyways, he is. Actually, you saw my video with tests. If you were a math teacher, you would have noticed they were more difficult than actual grade I was correcting. Well, that explains it. Action, you saw. Oh, okay. Yep. I'm half Irish. That's why I could become an actor. Joking. Yep. All right. Well, anyways, back to the article here. let's see. Yeah, we saw that part. And it reflects a march through our cultural institutions, comic books, schools, and indoctrinating our kids to believe that kind of nonsense, unquote, he continued. U.S. Senate photo office, public domain via wiki comments. Cotton went on to state, we should be proud of our heritage and our founding principles. 245 years ago this weekend, our founding fathers declared our independence, not just because of local grievances over taxes or the quartering of soldiers, but because they wanted to found a new republic dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal, as Abraham Lincoln said at the Gettysburg Address. He added, now, we haven't always achieved that in practice, but our history has been one of continually struggling to realize those ideals. That's exactly what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Dr. Martin Luther King said in his I Have a Dream speech, in which he explicitly and repeatedly invoked the Declaration and said that our work is the full realization of America's founding principles. We should teach our children, whether it's in the schools or in our movies and television, or yes, our comic books, to be proud of and celebrate America's traditions. Cotton concluded. This is Senator, just in case you guys don't know who this is, who I was just quoting, it's Senator Tom Cotton out of Arkansas. Okay, he's one of the two senators who represents Woody's state. After citing Cotton, Kane added, America has its founding principles, which I firmly believe in. I believe in individual freedom. I believe in equality of opportunity, not outcome. Competition, the ability to compete fairly. Hard work, which brings you success and material wealth, which in turn gives you self-reliance. Quote, that's what everybody wants on the face of this planet. That's what everybody strives for. That's why they are trying to come here, he asserted. And there's a photo by Alan Light. That's Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher right there. I find this wokeness, it's pervasive. It goes through everything. It's in our school system. The cool thing to do today is to bash America. The comic books do it. The schools indoctrinate our kids. They do that. Our movies, our television shows is full of it. Again, another good reason why I don't watch modern TV. Celebrities, actors, athletes, the media, they love to bash America. Kane then pondered, quote, I don't get it. I wonder to myself often, do these people ever travel outside of America? Do they go to other countries where they have to deal with other governments who aren't anywhere near as fair as the United States? I don't think they do. I do it all the time, and I kiss the soil when I get back here. Major Joshua, so here's, I guess, Dean with another soldier here. Major Joshua Bordeaux, or Boudreaux, United States Air Demonstration Squadron pilot, seeks with actor Dean Cain, August 2nd, 2013, at Nellis Air Force Base, Nevada. Cain's uncle, retired Lieutenant Colonel George Thomas, is a weapons school graduate and an F-15C Fighting Falcon pilot that won the Risner Award in 1981. The Risner Award is presented annually to an outstanding graduate of the USA FWS, that's Air Force photo, Airman First Class Jason Colliard. Comic books are full of criminals. Well, there are villains in there. Yeah, that's true. Wake up, Woody. We're talking about you. FV, I got critiqued for not showing my work. So with every test, I handed in one page of my work shown per question. Laugh out loud. Could you imagine grading that? Out loud, then the teacher marked me wrong, and then I got them put under review. A new math teacher was a much nicer teacher. Nice toys. Troublesome action. If my teachers and RSA, I'm an RSA. I think demonstration pilot means Thunderbird. An actor with a military person makes a face. I met one of my problematic students yesterday. He is 27 years old right now. He is applying to be a PE teacher. Sorry, I had my mom call me. Apparently, my brother needs blood transfusion. Not sure why he seems healthy. Sorry to hear that, Leto. Anyways, back to the article here. Kane would then double down on his thoughts about the current Zeitgeist. Quote, today, the fashionable thing to do is to bash America and hate American. And I'm on the exact opposite of this fence. I love this country. I'm full and complete optimist as well. I believe the pendulum will swing back to openly appreciate American values, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. He hoped, quote, as soon as people start studying them in school again, I think we'll get people understanding them, appreciating them. Quote, so today, me being a sort of countercultural guy, me supporting the flag and the red, white, and blue and the United States of America makes me revolutionary in some terms, which I'm fine with, he concluded. What do you make of Kane and Senator Tom Cotton's thoughts about Marvel's most recent first issue, United States of Captain America, where Captain America abandons the American dream? Rock on, man, rock on. Anyways, as we we are officially halfway through this set of stories here. And I do appreciate and thank you guys for all the likes and share. We got a nice little crowd. We've had as many as 8 people in here tonight, so that's cool. That's a good number to have. Let's see. 5:18. Here, gotta go sleep. All right. Well, good night. Well, I guess good morning, technically, there, FD. Thanks for stopping in, and I hope you'll join us again. Okay, 80. He's fine, I think. Good night. All right, Effie. Thanks for stopping by and checking out the little hangout spot. Well, we hope to see you again, Effie. Night, Effie. Wink, sleep well. Hope everything is well with your brother from Effie. Thanks, Action. He also owes me 10 quarters. Tell him I have not forgotten. Bye, Mike. I'll try to catch stream again. Well, you're always welcome, Effie. So I do hope to see you again. It's always fun with when FB. Yeah, she's a bit of a conversationalist too. She would get you guys going there, conversation wise. So that's nice. Let's see. So we're at 7 people right now. We're at the hour and 20-minute mark. So I better hurry along a little bit here. We're halfway through this story. We had 6 of them, as I said tonight. So let's move on to this next one then. Okay, so Russia's war on anime continues as state government bans Akira on grounds that it could harm the health and mental development of children. Don't socialists and communists love to do that? They just love to hide behind, oh, we just care so much for children. Oh boy. Article written by Spencer McCauley, published yesterday. And that's, I think, a scene from Akira right there. Following their banning of various isekai and shonen anime titles from being distributed within Russia, which were ostensibly restricted out of a concern for the mental well-being of the nation's youth, the Russian government has now banned the classic 1998 film Akira from their country on the grounds that it could, quote, harm the health and mental development of children, unquote. Oh boy. As announced by the United Press Service of the courts of St. Petersburg via their official Telegram account on July the 5th, which was this past Monday, the country's government honored the prosecutor's request to ban the distribution of Katsuhiro Otomo's seminal animated adaptation of his Akira manga based on the belief that the film, quote, can be harmful to the health and mental development of children, unquote. The court further noted that this decision was made in light of the previous bans issued against other anime series, including Tokyo Ghoul, Death Note, and Konosuba. Archive link source had press service of the court of St. Petersburg Telegram. So these bans were allegedly done in order to forcefully prevent pirate distribution websites from making the specified pieces of mature content available to younger audiences. Their effects have had widespread ramifications for legal distributors, as multiple streaming services have had to remove the affected series from their libraries in order to avoid running afoul of the Russian government. According to the Russian pop culture news outlet Game Mag, one such streaming provider affected by the bans was Russian streaming service Kinopoisk HD, who was recently forced to remove Tokyo Ghoul from its library of offerings in order to comply with the state's latest rulings. Talk about throwing the baby out with the bathwater, huh? As of writing, with the ban of Akira, the Russian government has thus far banned a total of 13, I think that's supposed to be 13, anime productions from distribution within its borders, including the 3 aforementioned series, as well as Elfen Lied, Interspecies Reviewers, Inuyashiki, Naruto, Nekopara, Princess Lover, That Time I Got Reincarnated as Slink, and Zombieland Saga. What do you make of Russians' ban on Akira? Let us know your thoughts on social media or in the comments down below. Let's see now. going on since I last checked. 8 people. Designing this huge is foot soldier is wearing me out. Yeah, Leto. Oh. Russia being GD dumb. Yeah. I consider communism murdering 165 million people more devastating to children than a stupid manga book. True, Batgoat. That's very true. Every living person in Russia today is related to someone that has been killed by Stalin. Does Russia forget children shouldn't be watching anime like it's for teens and adults? Mm-hmm. Well, there are still some animes like Pokemon and Digimon that are more geared towards kids. Of course, those aren't the ones that are being banned. The point is, they're talking more about the more mature content anime. Russia does not like isekai animes. I think USA is worse. Okay, laugh it out, whatever. Prove it. Well, Funimation's got to be right up there with Funimation. In some respects, has to be right up there with Russia. But the way they kind of have been censoring their stuff of late. Seven. Okay, so let's see now. So now that we got through that, we got 2 more stories to get through. Cartoon, television related here. Well, they don't like Pokemon because they fear the children will be brainwashed. Opinions are like anal openings. We all have them. Yeah, actually, 80. You know, something my dad used to say that quite a bit. That was something my dad said quite a bit too. Of course, he used the other A word as opposed to anal openings, but since we are trying to keep it clean here, all hail Britannia. Love a lot of toys. Anyways, hour 28. So actually, we're making decent time here. All right, so here we go. We're gonna move on to the next article here. Kind of in the television cartoon realm here. Netflix director claims King Grayskull and Andra race swapped in Masters of the Universe Revelations because new characters could be easily rejected. Quote unquote. Spencer Bakuli, who wrote this, and it was published July 5th, which is on Monday. So, in response to a fan who complained about the race swapping of characters in Kevin Smith's upcoming Netflix produced Masters of the Universe Revelation series, which has thus far seen both Andra and King Grayskull changed in such a way from their original forms, Netflix director of original series Ted Biaselli has revealed that the production team made the decision to alter the 2 characters out of fear that the new characters, quote, could be easily rejected, unquote. Of course, comic. Bellator, Tila, and He-Man. Smith, Rob Davis. So, Source, Master of the Universe, Revelations, Volume 1, 2021. Dark Horse Comics, cover by Sojapan Sejic. On July 3rd, which was this past Saturday, just days before its slated July 7th, today, release date, Bleeding Cool founder Rich Johnson published a report on a particular panel from the premiere issue of Dark Horse's Masters of the Universe Revelation prequel comic book series, which recently leaked online. In the leaked panel, it is revealed that in this continuity, King Grayskull, the historical ruler of Eternia, whose power fuels Prince Adam's transformation into He-Man, is now a black man. The power! Well, the thing, is if any of you remember, too, for those who remember watching He-Man and the Masters of the Universe back in the 80s, I did. Becoming He-Man did tan Adam's skin, okay? Wasn't as much he became a different race, it did tan his skin. Because Adam was pretty white as just Adam, and then when he became He-Man, he was pretty tanned. So. Too much anime. Right? The man's grandfather is black. Thus making Herman black. Or He-Man black. I believe the man's granddad. Oh, God. Oh, boy. He doesn't look black. He turns black when he powers up. Well, it's not exactly black. It's more like tan skin. That goat should know what I'm talking about because I think he could have been watching it around that time as well. This version of King Grayskull can also be seen in the series Masters of the Universe Relation Part 1 trailer, standing behind an untransformed Prince Adam as a member of the Guardians of He alongside fellow Guardians He, Ro, and Vico. Shortly after this news broke, it was shared to the shared wall of the private Facebook He-Man and She-Ra fan group, Shadow Weaver's Realm, whereupon it was met with disappointment by a black member of the group who stated, "Ugh, I prefer making new unique black characters and race swapping originally white characters." Quote, "Instead of wearing your own shirt, you're getting a hand-me-down shirt from someone else," quote. He added, as seen in screenshots provided by Bounding into Cool by YouTube Ninja Knight. The fans' complaint was soon met with a response from Biaselli, who went on to detail the production team's reasoning behind the decision to race swap not only King Grayskull, but as previously revealed, the as of this series no longer comic book exclusive character of Lieutenant Andra. Quote, "I hear you," unquote, said Biaselli. Quote, "And that will indeed be a part of our story too. But a big hurdle when you are introducing a new character to a line of so many well-established characters is that they are bound to be outsiders and harder to accept as canon, at least for a while. Nobody gives a bleep about Sir Laserlot." And there's, I guess, the rest of the tweet right there. On the specific race swapping of King Grayskull, Biaselli explained, quote, "We asked ourselves early on about the need for giant white blonde dudes in the pantheon of brackets Masters of the Universe, and honestly, it makes both characters less special in their iconography." Okay, well, there is okay. There is a little problem with their reasoning, though, in terms of the Kanan. Okay, He-Man did have, you know, black or darker skinned characters. Okay, He-Man did have, back in the 80s, there were, like, let's see, I think the most notable one was Zodak. Okay, there was Zodak, the observer guy, the guy who basically rode around the cosmos on a chair. Okay, there was an actual episode, as I remember, where I think He-Man had was helping a girl being chased by some soldiers, and he had gotten amnesia and ended up in a city that was, basically it was a city that was filled with, you had a black queen and a black magician, a black gladiator. I don't remember the name of the episode off the top of my head, but so He-Man did have, as part of the planet, where he did have, black characters. So there was really no, and of course, as I said, the most notable being Zodak. Turns black when he. I like Mike. He-Man without his sword needs to be sitting on the couch with old He-Man from the past looking behind him, like in that Piper Perry movie. How about, why does He-Man get darker when he transforms? Answer: he actually gets a farmer's tan from the bright light that transformation. Yeah, well, that's actually a good scientific theory right there. Granted, my guess is you were joking there, but that actually is a good scientific theory right there. Laugh out loud, love it, Leto. Let's see. Michael Jackson color change. It was the 80s. My kids loved He-Man cartoon and Skeletor. Yeah. Skeletor. Yeah. Okay, so let's see now. Now moving on to the next paragraph. Move on with the story here. The article. Quote, "I wish I could take credit for being the one with the idea to make, in brackets, King Grayskull black," unquote. He added, quote, "because now in the history of all the champions of Grayskull, a black man has a role of prominence as opposed to just being the guy with the clamp." A reference to Clamp Champ, the only black character to receive an action figure in the original toy. I don't know. Zodak, I thought, might have been a character in the toy line as well. Starts the search for Keldor, 86, Mattel. Words by Stephen Grant. Art by Bruce Timm. Bruce Timm, a very famous name in animation, the guy who helped create the DCAU. Turning to the topic of Andra, Biaselli wrote, quote, same thing with Andra. She was initially created as a new character, brackets, but it was my idea to dig into the lore and raise up a character who had a small appearance but a strong following, unquote. Quote, people have been wanting to see Tila and Andra fight side by side for a while, said the Netflix director. Quote, as opposed to creating a new character, they could easily be rejected. Biaselli then asked the fan, quote, honestly, do we really need to be a redheads, quote, unquote, for explaining that the decision to race swap Andra was done because, quote, Masters of the Universe had, quote, no women of color, and we saw an opportunity and took it. Uh, false. No, 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 no. That's BS. That is a total lie. Man, I gotta now see if I can try to find that episode, find what the name of that episode was. There was an episode of He-Man where there was an entire city of black people, including a black queen. I've got to now go look that up because see if I can find it. Curse of the Spell Zone. That had it. Let's see. Aunt like father like daughter. The Reagans. Name of the monster. Again, the Royal Cousin. Song of Solis. Okay, yeah. So the episode was A Tale of Two Cities. That was the He-Man episode I was just thinking of. He-Man finds himself caught up in a war between two rival cities. Losing his memory, he is forced to fight an arena gladiator named Garn. Yes, and in that story, A Tale of Two Cities. That's the name of the He-Man episode. Okay? So I did find that. But I remember that. I kind of remembered that episode. I just didn't remember. So in the 80s, there was an episode called A Tale of Two Cities where, as they just said, He-Man got caught up in a war between two cities. And one of the cities was basically an entire city of black people. You had a black queen. You had an evil black magician, and Garn, that gladiator, it was like, So I mean, that is a total fabrication. Just again, another example of how Kevin Smith isn't really a fan of He-Man. Did someone sigh? I think 80 enjoys Mike's sighs a bit too much. 80 is a pervert. Oh boy. Behave, children. Yes, I am a pervert for sounds of sighs. You found out my secret. Sighing now. Get him, Mike. Grrr. Back, as Backgoat says. Laugh out loud. Wasn't that the He-Man and She-Ra crossover? No. The Secret of the Sword is what you're thinking of. The Secret of the Sword was the crossover that introduced She-Ra, Princess of Power. And then they also had a Christmas special where they crossed over. No, A Tale of Two Cities was an actual episode in the first season of He-Man, in which He-Man had rescued a princess of a rival of one country, only to end up getting amnesia and then finding himself in a city. So, Psyduck wants to know your location, 80. Oh boy. How about loud? I'm at a place where He-Man keeps me safe. I don't someone race swap to prove a point, Kevin. I guess you're trying to say, May, that you don't like somebody just race swapping to make a point. I think everybody here agrees with that statement. I don't think nobody likes, race swapping just for the purpose of trying to prove something. So, anyways, continuing on here. Quote, why not give little black girls a hero that looks like them? Unquote. He concluded. Now that's pretty condescending right there. And again, there are black heroes. Storm, Vixen. Ay. Well, apparently Sarah Michelle Gellar will be voicing Teela. In this series. The first issue of Masters of the Universe Revelation prequel series currently set for release on July 7th, so today. While Kevin Smith's animated series of the same name will debut on July 23rd, so basically 2 weeks from this Friday. What do you make of Biaselli's explanation? Let us know your thoughts on social media. Well, I think May said it right. I don't think nobody really cares for the idea of just race swapping just to make a point. I think May hit that nail right on the head. Gonna race swap my avatar now. Leto Enchanted. Who cares? You love who you love. Leto, isn't it already race swapped? I was following the artist son of who designed Storm and Nightcrawler. Apparently, the dad drew a lot of the Rule 34 and had them get busy. All right, whatever that means. I'm alone. Anyways, oh wow, man, an hour 50. Might just end up running a little past time here. I'd better hurry along here. I did have one more story to get to. Actually, with an hour and 50, we're at an hour 50 now. Maybe I'll just save. Maybe I'll just try to save that one for tomorrow night. At least have a story. You know, have at least one story in the can to look at for tomorrow. Because we're already at an hour 50. And I took quite a bit of time reading a couple of those stories. But anyways, so yeah, it looks like we're at an hour and 50 here. So I think it's about time to start wrapping up. Are you guys ready for this day in each history? Traveling to. Keep going. Nick won't be on. Yeah, but still, take your time. Oh, traveling to Matsuri. I'm tired, so I'm hitting the bed, but still watching the stream. Thank you, Mike, and to everyone else. I mean, he's traveling to Houston for the anime. Yeah, I mean, I know that, Leto, but you know, so I just had a more like at a routine try to do between an hour and a half and 2 hours. Plus, you know, it kind of gives me something for, as I said, for tomorrow night to gives me at least one story that I can go back to and read, see if, you know, help build some stuff up. Let's see. Some are going to Matsuri. It's been fun, 80. Neach it up. Some of us need to rest. Yep. Neach it up. And then, okay. All right. So today being Wednesday, July the 7th, 2021. Let's go ahead and take a look back on this day in Nietzsche history. Let me just get some things real quick here. 81, 91, 41, and 2016. Okay, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and everybody do what you want. Throw his laptop at the wall. Oh boy. Shark Week. All right. So, anyways, today being Wednesday, July the 7th, 2021, let's take a look back at this day in Nietzsche history. And the first, we're going to go back 80 years to 1941. On this date in 1941, the character Woody Woodpecker would make his second appearance overall, but his first is in his own series titled Woody Woodpecker from Walter Lantz Production. So on this date in 1941, Woody Woodpecker would premiere his own animated series after having appeared on the Andy Panda episode Knock Knock. So 80 years ago today, Woody Woodpecker would debut his own series, making his second animated appearance overall, his first in his own series. So there we go with that one. And for those of you who might not remember, Woody Woodpecker, I say this niche business sounds absolutely invigorating, and I will indubitably enjoy this fascinating niche time. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. And what did? Oh, that's interesting. Where's Woody when you need him? I wish I had a Woody near me. Anyways, okay, so with that, let's move on to the next piece of niche history. As we go on to 1981, as on this date in 1981, the 510th issue of Archie Giant Series magazine goes on sale on this date in 1981 for 50 cents. It was 32 pages. So, Archie Giant Series magazine the 510th issue of Archie Giant Series magazine went on sale on this date 40 years ago today in 1981. So, there we go with that one. Oh, there's Woody. You're late, Woody. And we just had some ha 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 ha. 80. How about Morning Wood? Okay, so moving on to the next piece of niche history. As on this date in 1991, 30 years ago today, the the Pacific Northwest Territory was one of the last of the traditional territories of the NWA to cease operation before they reorganized in the mid-90s. Okay, so Pacific Northwest was winding down its promotion at this point. On this date in 1991, 30 years ago today, the NWA Pacific Northwest Heavyweight Championship, last held by Steve Dahl, is held up following a match against Ron Harris in Eugene, Oregon. So, on this date, the NWA Pacific Northwest Heavyweight Championship held up after a match between Steve Dahl. Some of you might remember Steve Dahl as Stephen Dunn in the WWF as one half of the tag team Well Done. Stephen Dunn and Timothy Well had been a long-time tag team on the independent on the territories throughout the United States. As Timothy Well was known as Rex King, and then Steve Dunn was known as Steve Dahl. But on this date, 30 years ago today, the NWA Pacific Northwest Heavyweight Championship was held up following a match between Steve Dahl and Ron Harris. Oh, there we go there. Hey, Woody. Morning, Woody. Assuredly happy to see Woody tonight. Chat's not been the same without him here. Where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. All right, well, anyways, one last piece of niche history to cover before we finish off for the night. Okay, there we go. Let me just catch a cup. Yes, ah, shucks. Oh yeah. Woody, actually, one of the articles I read earlier too, we were talking about one of the senators from your state, Senator Tom Cotton. In an interview, I guess he did on Fox and Friends, him and Dean Cain were talking about. They were responding to what they're doing to Captain America now. Anyway, so this is the last. So on this date, 5 years ago today, in 2016, the following animes premiered. Field Studios, The Art Club Has a Problem. Creators and Packs, Oz Mafia, and Actresses Regalia, The Three Sacred Stars. So those 3 animes premiered on this date 5 years ago today. So with that being said, guys, I once again thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate you guys being here. I hope you guys will back again tomorrow. Let's see. I don't know what to watch now. Well, hey, take the time to get maybe a little extra rest, Leto. No problem, Mike. Again, another couple announcements here, of course. This Friday, of course, Backo and I will be going through our historical comics retrospect, where we'll be looking back at December of 1937. In this case, we'll be looking at comics that went on sale from Ultim Publications. We'll be looking at Funny Picture Stories and Funny Pages, Volume 2, Number 5 of each. We'll be looking at, of course, Jack Strand, Abdallah, His Highness, and another story called The Mad One. So I hope you guys will be ready for that. And also our next open mic night will be Monday, September 6th, 2021. That'll be Labor Day here in the States, as well as being the 1-year anniversary of the Mikestand. So I hope you all be here for that. Let's see. All right. No problem, Mike. Night people. 80, thanks for stopping by. This was fun. Night people. Night all. Avarath on Twitch, Leto. I could give you some suggestions, Leto, but you would never be the same. All right, well, anyways, guys, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you all back here tomorrow night. And I bid you all good night and adieu. Bye.